Let's say one of these quarterbacks are lost for a significant amount of time. Why not trade for a Mitch Trubisky? He's available.
You want to win. That's why you don't trade for him.
What do you mean you want to win? You put him over there with Indianapolis. Frank Reich could absolutely help him. Absolutely help him develop.
I'd rather develop Jacob Eason, thank you.
Oh, God.
I mean, this will be the second season now he's had Jacob Eason. Jacob Eason knows the playbook. He's dealt with Frank Reich. That's going to be his guy for the interim.
No, I'm just saying Mitchell Trubisky's still a very good talent. And you like him. You like him too, Jeff.
I'm not saying that he's not a good talent, but if you got to bring in a guy that needs to learn the playbook front to back from day one rather than a guy that's been there now for 2 seasons, what are we doing?
John says Mark Sanchez, LOL. Snug says maybe the Jets can get the 42-year-old Zamboni driver in Toronto. He seems pretty reliable.
Is that it?
That's it.
And it's so many things that really you're starting to look at with the NFL, and it's kind of everybody's looking forward to the season and where the season's going to go because there could be surprise teams. Everybody talking about the Cardinals. Where's Pittsburgh going to go this year?
But would Arizona be a surprise team? They've improved every year.
No, they're favorites to win the Super Bowl.
What do you mean?
I don't think they're favorites to win.
They're behind Tampa Bay.
They're
in the NFC.
Yeah, they're
that's
favorite.
about it.
Yeah, they're not a surprise.
How would that be a surprise?
Vegas, they're like not. They might be 8th or 7th.
Oh wow, really?
Go look at Vegas where they rated them. Vegas.
I saw Buccaneers, Packers before Aaron Rodgers and Rams. But
do you want the odds?
Yeah, go. Give us the odds.
Hold on,
Arizona.
While you look that up, Carl finally takes your side, Tyler. He says, Trubisky, stop it.
Thank you.
The Chiefs are the favorite at plus 500. The Buccaneers are second at plus 5.
That's crazy.
Carl, sorry, Jeff. First of all, Carl, Mitchell Trubisky never got a fair shot with the Bears. Never did. He never did.
Yeah,
never ever did. And his coach ran him out when to me, they didn't respect Trubisky enough. They pushed him out. And
they built the offense around him.
How did they build the offense around him? They didn't even run the offense that he's strong at.
What offense is he strong at?
First of all, he's got a great arm, and he can move inside and out of the pocket. He's one of the more underrated running quarterbacks in this league.
No, he's a very good running quarterback. That's
he
why
can
they
throw,
had
too, on the run. He's very accurate when he runs out of the pocket. Very accurate.
So the Cardinals aren't even close to being a favorite, Tyler, just so you know.
Where are they?
The Chiefs are 1, the Buccaneers are 2. Let's see. The Packers are plus 1,200. The Bills are plus 1,100. The Ravens are plus 1,600. The 49ers are plus 1,400. The Browns are plus 1,400. The Rams are plus 1,200. The Saints are plus 3,000. The Seahawks are plus 2,200. The Colts are plus 2,500. The Dolphins are
The Dolphins are above the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Vegas is smoking crack.
Right
Somebody
now.
go put a bet in right now on the Cardinals. I'll split it. This is ridiculous.
The Patriots are plus 2,000. The Chargers are ahead of the Cardinals at plus 33,000.
That's who you know. Yeah, that's where
that's
you know
ridiculous.
I told you, they're not very highly rated to be a Super Bowl
That's
contender.
retarded.
Then go bet on them.
I might.
Good, do that.
I might.
And lose all your money.
Depends on if the beef agrees with me or
his
not.
money. What, his White Castle money?
By the way, John says a comment that you might like, Tyler. Josh Rosen as a possible
And
option.
first of all, Carl, first of all, he wasn't an accurate deep thrower, but he had a good arm. The problem is it was coaching. He wasn't put with the right coach. And to me, he offensive genius. Yeah, that's why they wanted to fire him after 3 years. Yeah, offensive genius.
Carl doesn't like Nagy either.
He stinks. Nagy is terrible. And by the way, he's going to ruin Justin Fields if he's not out after a year. Justin Fields is going to be a fantastic quarterback in this league. No thanks to Nagy, okay? Nagy's going to ruin him.
Ben says Trubisky was a fantastic quarterback for the Packers.
I can't stand Nagy. I think Nagy's terrible.
I mean, let's be honest about this, right? You got to look at it and be objective for a minute. Mm-hmm. He had to deal with Mitch Trubisky, who was a project, and Trubisky definitely improved while he was there, which you got to give credit to Nagy for his improvement. He did improve, and not for nothing, Justin Fields is 10 times the prospect. Come on, double play. Turn 2. That's a winner on the bet. That's a winner. Angels 2-1 win over the Rangers. There we go.
Why does he care about the Rangers?
And he bets on him.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a degenerate. Worse than you, Tyler. Although
good.
I am definitely better looking. But you gotta. But
you just give me reasons to go home and do more drugs.
If you're being honest about the whole thing, Justin Fields is 10 times the prospect that Mitch Trubisky was.
Absolutely.
Fair.
I mean, right. So and Trubisky did improve. So is it Nagy can't coach, or was he dealing with somebody that was a little too raw that couldn't handle it?
I also think too. I think his offense is not bad in terms of like the actual usage of the players. I think as a head coach, it's more the question of his does his team win games? Does he have a good enough game plan? Stuff like that. I think his scheme is actually pretty good though too, and he's made that kind of thing work with not a lot outside of Allen Robinson and David Montgomery. Not a lot of talent. Either.
It would still bother me that Mitchell, and I understand you think fine. You want to say he got a little bit better, but Mitchell Trubisky, as much of a project he was, they didn't put him in a right position to succeed. They really didn't. Even in the playoffs. When they played very well, I think it was his first or second.
It was his second year. He played well in the fourth quarter. He struggled the first three quarters.
It does in the playoffs. He played well. He wasn't the reason why they lost.
No, he wasn't the only reason they lost. I'm just saying.
Only reason wasn't the reason why they lost. He wasn't. He gave him a chance to win.
The real problem with Trubisky wasn't that he was slow out of the gates his rookie year, because he was a rookie, and he did make a really good leap into his second year. It was the regression he made in his third year that really buried him. He was terrible in his third year. So you can't really blame people for wanting to move on.
First 3 games he was out for the first 3 games of the season. Then he came back, and then he was trying to get his feet, under him. And then they brought Nick Foles in. How do you expect a quarterback to you go after a quarterback that just won a Super Bowl after you made a trade, and you made a trade up 2-3 years late before that, and you gave up prospects and all that just to move up one spot to draft the quarterback of the future? I think they never gave him a chance to succeed.
Jimmy G seems to be doing just fine.
Yeah, Jimmy G, really? That's why they brought in another quarterback. Yeah, Jimmy G might lose his job.
I realize you think I'm going to be crazy, but the Chicago Bears are primed to make a deep run and really win in the playoffs if they get any kind of production from the quarterback. That was really what was holding them back. They have a world-class defense. They play terrific.
Oh, their defense is great. I don't like their offense. I don't.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's why Justin Fields could really make a world of difference, because if they get a few more first downs to let that defense get a breather and be fresher longer during the game and put up a few more points, that team really could be dangerous.
What makes Justin Fields more dangerous?
And I hate Carl, but he should be excited for his team.
He should, because I think they're one of my surprise teams.
I actually really like Carl.
They're one of my surprise teams to come out of the NFC this year, because I think they're going to be fun to watch if Justin Fields wins the starting job early. I believe he will, because he's that much better than anybody else on that roster. But I also look at it, Mitchell Trubisky, if you look at the roster that he had and the players that he threw, besides Robinson, he didn't throw to any. There was nobody else there that he could throw to. Jimmy Graham? Come on, Simeon.
They had some pretty good wide receivers. Now, be fair, Taylor Gabriel was a pretty good wide receiver. They have
Taylor Gabriel, the Atlanta Falcons, Taylor Gabriel. Come on.
They have every tight end that's ever been drafted in the league is on that team.
Yeah, and they all stink. They all stink. They're all washed up, stinky.
That's like a 6 tight end football team.
I probably fart better than what they play on the field.
Let's just put them all on the offensive line. I mean, their offensive line isn't that good as it is.
And not for nothing, they don't all stink, because I think Cole Kmet's pretty good.
He looked good in the second half of the season.
No, they have a good.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Bears have a very good running game. They've always had a very good running game. They've known for good defense and good running game. Come on, to Carl, and I know you're a Bears fan. They never gave him a chance to succeed. How do you get rid of a quarterback after 4 years when you traded up? You gave away future prospects, first-round draft picks, to move up one spot for San Francisco and just give up on a kid. They really didn't put the players around him to succeed. Go.
The Jets failed Sam Darnold more than the Bears failed Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
What?
Why is that?
Who did Sam Darnold ever have?
What do you mean?
Who was Sam Darnold's knight in shining armor to be like, you know what, kid? Give me the ball.
Are you kidding? This is Robbie Anderson radio right here. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Robbie Anderson just has best year leaving the Jets.
Jamison Crowder. I mean, I'm not saying they gave him a lot of players, but That was Mike McCagnon's fault. When Joe Douglas came into office, he tried to bring in Mekhi Beckham. He drafted Denzel Mims. He did everything that he could. Obviously, the draft stock that he had this year, they really solidified and really tried to build their offense around their quarterback. That wasn't Joe Douglas's fault because he was only there 1 year.
I don't blame Joe Douglas.
That was Mike McCagnon's
I think
fault.
the biggest difference is Matt Nagy, even though he's on the hot seat, is still a significantly better coach than Adam Gase, though.
Well, yes.
I think that if you're looking for troublesome injuries around the league, though, and it's certainly easy to pick on Carson Wentz because he has an injury history, and the Quentin Nelson thing is freak, and that's not great either because it's also on the same team. But I think if you're looking at the injury that really hurts, looking at you, Speedy, Kenny Galladay going down is not great.
No,
Well, I expected that.
That's
Jeff, that's why I didn't want him. I expected that to happen.
long is
He's
he out
very
for?
injury prone.
What did he go down as? Sprained ankle?
Groin injury. Groin injury.
I thought it was a hamstring.
Hamstring or groin.
So
same part
it's
of the
significant.
body, yeah.
What is it, grade 1 or grade 2?
I think it's only grade 1, but still.
Only grade 1? That's bad.
It's still something that could be reoccurring.
Grade 1 is
I didn't want him anyway. So Jeff, you're speaking my language with my worries of his injury history.
Don't worry, Speedy. You got Kadarius Toney. So
Oh, good. He'll have to take over the number 1 receiver role.
All right, so go.
I hope you're right about him,
What
Jeff.
did John Suggs say? Could you shut up, Speedy, and read?
Before that, Carl also says he missed so many deep passes in his games that was crazy, hair-pulling crazy. John says Bears the only team that cannot get a kicker. Only recently. Robbie Gould was very good for a while. Ben says, as a Badger fan, I was happy to see Fields leave Ohio State. As a Packers fan, I was not excited to see him go to Chicago. Carl says he was the starter, put in a quality position. That defense made Trubisky better, also gave him all kinds of short fields. John says the only team to be held to 10 yards in the first half against the Eagles in 2018. First time since 2017 that a team had done that, and that team was the Chiefs squad in which Matt Nagy was the offensive coordinator.
There you go.
It could have been all random chance, but Nagy's fingerprints are all over the 2 worst offensive performances in NFL history. Snug says Robbie Anderson. And
He ruined. And by the way, Mitchell Trubisky will start again in this league. He absolutely will. I believe it.
Prediction.
What? It is a bold prediction.
It's a bold prediction.
But I do believe it's going to happen. I think he's going to get another chance. And he's young enough to get that chance. He's only 25 years old. And I think he deserves it. I just think he needs to go somewhere where the coach is going to put him in the position, in the right position to succeed.
2.0.
No, he's better than Jake Locker. He's better than Jake Locker. I feel bad for the kid. I really do.
I felt bad for Jake Locker.
I felt bad for Locker, too. Yeah, I did.
Jake Locker, I think, is better.
He was raw coming out of the draft, but his talent could have been there. He had who was his best receiver? Nate Washington or something like that? And
I understand a lot of Chicago Bears hate Mitchell Trubisky. I know a lot of Chicago Bear fans hate him. But you want to know something? I just feel like the kid just never got the opportunity to succeed. I really didn't. They pushed him out when they brought Nick Foles in. They didn't even give him a chance. And
that's in his 4th year, though. He was the starter there for 3 years.
Yeah, I know.
They gave him no chance.
Come on, Jeff.
And Nick Foles was a Super Bowl
usually
champ.
takes you 4 years to really develop into the quarterback that you want him to be. Especially a team that, let's be honest, it's the Chicago Bears. Who was their last top-end quarterback?
Right,
seriously.
But this is a typical Chicago team because they always do well with shit bums like Rex Grossman and the rest of the lot. This is a typical Chicago team. If they get any production from a quarterback, they're going to be really good. They're an awesome defensive team, man.
So you're going to blame Mitchell Trubisky and that run where everybody thought the Chicago Bears had a chance to go to the Super Bowl? You're going to blame him because the field goal kicker couldn't kick the ball? He played well in the fourth quarter. He gave him a chance to win. He gave him a chance to win. Right? I'm not blaming the defense. I'm not.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what it comes down to, though, Errol, right? If it's not the defense, who is it? Yeah, I'm all in on putting some of the blame on Nagy. It hasn't been great. But at some point, you got to look at the leader of the offense. Who's the leader of the offense? Mitchell Trubisky.
Actually, yes, the quarterback is a big part of it, but the coach is the one that's calling the plays. And Nagy, let's be honest, when it comes down to team game and making one play at the end of the game, you make sure that the coach is picking the right play. And let's be honest, we've seen Nagy the last 2 years botch that up.
John says
his coaching hasn't been great for sure, but I mean, you got to put some of the blame on.
I'm not blaming. I'm not saying it's not also Mitchell Trubisky's fault. I'm saying that he never really got the chance to succeed. That's what I say. I think he deserved more time and a better opportunity.
Here's the other thing you should take into consideration as well. There was plenty of teams this offseason that needed quarterbacks, and no one wanted them. Nobody. Those are other professionals that do scouting and look at players. And the best job he could get was a backup for a team he's never going to start for as long as Josh Allen is there. That's the best job he could get.
And Carl says Trubisky can't read defenses. He wouldn't audible. Watch the tape. And you know what that has something to do with? Coaching.